All right, if you're in UK manufacturing, you know what I'm talking about. The landscape is changing, and fast. Right now, it feels less like just trying to keep up, and more like, honestly, pure survival. But what if? What if you had a clear, actionable guide to not just survive, but to actually win? Well, that's exactly what we're going to build together, right now.
Look, there's just no way to sugarcoat this. The environment out there is tough. The pressure, it feels like it's coming from every single direction, doesn't it? And things like efficiency, quality, agility, they're not just buzzwords you hear at a conference anymore. Nope. They are literally the difference between leading the pack and getting left behind.
So that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? In a game this high stakes, what's the actual strategy that's going to give you that edge? How do you take all these pressures and flip them, turn them into your competitive advantage?
Okay, let's do this. We're going to build your AI game plan right here in the next few minutes. And I mean a practical, no-nonsense plan. No fluff, no jargon, just a straight-up, clear roadmap to get you started and, most importantly, get you results. First up, let's put a name to that feeling. You know, the one you get on the shop floor every single day. We're calling it the manufacturing squeeze. And honestly, it's the perfect description. It really is a perfect storm of all these different pressures.
And what's crazy is how these things all feed off each other. You know, a shipment gets delayed because of some supply chain nightmare, and boom, production grinds to a halt. Then you've got these skyrocketing energy costs that make every single minute of that downtime more and more expensive. It's just squeezing your margins from all sides.
But here's the good news. For every single one of those pressures, there is a powerful tool that can fight back. So let's stop thinking about AI as some, complicated sci-fi concept. Instead, let's look at it for what it is, a practical toolkit that you can start using right now. So what is manufacturing AI, really? At its core, it's just about using the data you probably already have to make better, faster decisions. That's it. It's about turning all that information into real-world action that hits your bottom line. We're talking less downtime, better products, and a supply chain that can actually handle a few bumps in the road. So let's open up this toolkit. What's inside? Well, you've got predictive maintenance, which basically stops disasters before they happen. Then there's computer vision. Think of it like a superhuman inspector who never gets tired and catches every tiny flaw. You've got supply chain optimization to help you navigate all that chaos, and intelligent scheduling to squeeze every last drop of efficiency out of your production line. Now, hold on. Before you run out and buy any shiny new tech, the single most important thing you can do is take a good, honest look in the mirror. You've got to know where you're starting from. This self-assessment, it's the foundation for everything. And trust me, it'll help you avoid some incredibly costly mistakes down the line. So here it is, your 4-point check. Number 1, data. Is your data easy to get to, or is it locked away in a dozen different systems that don't talk to each other? Number 2, people. Does your team have the digital skills to actually use these new tools? 3, your physical stuff. Is your network even ready for this? Can it handle the data load? And finally, number 4, money. What is a realistic budget for you right now? Seriously, answering these questions honestly is your real first step to success. Okay, so once you know your starting point, you need a map. This isn't some giant leap you take overnight. It's a journey. So let's break it down into a real, tangible 3-phase roadmap to get you from here to there. Just think of it as a 36-month journey. That's it. The first 6 months, all about building a rock-solid foundation. The next year or so is all about scaling up the stuff that's actually working. And that final phase, well, that's where you get into advanced optimization. That's where you really start to pull away from the competition. So, phase 1, the key word here is focus. You're going to get your data systems in order. That means connecting your machines. Then you pick just one, high-impact pilot project. Something like predictive maintenance on your most critical piece of equipment. You do that to prove it works. And at the same time, you start training your team, creating those internal champions who are going to drive this whole thing forward for you.
All right, on to phase 2. Now we're building on that success. You take that pilot project that works so well and you roll it out across your other lines. You start using the data you're already collecting for new things, like, say, optimizing your energy use. And this is critical. You make absolutely sure your new AI systems are talking to your old ones, like your main ERP system. They've got to be integrated.
And then you hit phase 3. Now you're playing in the big leagues. This is where you get into advanced optimization. You can have AI running your production schedule, automatically managing supply chain risks. You can even start exploring some really game-changing tech like digital twins. And if you haven't heard of those, they're basically a virtual copy of your factory where you can test out new ideas in a totally risk-free digital world. So cool!
Now look, this whole journey sounds great, I know, but let's be real for a second. There are going to be hurdles. Of course there will be. The good news, though, is that for every common problem, there's a practical solution. So let's not shy away from them. Let's tackle these barriers head on.
And this lays it out perfectly. You're worried about cost? Okay, use cloud platforms so you don't have this massive upfront investment. And hey, look into government grants like Made Smarter. Can't find the right people? Upskill your existing team. Your best people are probably already working for you on the shop floor. Got old equipment? No problem. Retrofit it with some new sensors. And what about resistance to change? You involve your operators from day one, and you celebrate every single small win together.
Speaking of quick wins, that brings us to probably the most important question of all. With all of this potential, all these tools, where do you actually start? Like, what do you do tomorrow morning? Let's zero in on the single most effective first step you can possibly take.
For most companies, the answer is predictive maintenance. It is the perfect entry point. It's a no-brainer. Think about it. Instead of just guessing when a machine needs service or waiting for it to break, you use data to know. You know exactly when a failure is starting to happen so you can get in there and fix it before it brings your entire line to a screeching halt. And the impact? It's immediate and it is massive. Just stop and imagine for a second. Cutting your unplanned downtime in half. What would that do for your production targets, for your team's stress levels? What would that do for your bottom line? This isn't some small, incremental tweak. This is a transformation.
And on top of that, you stop wasting money on service you don't even need. By fixing things at just the right moment, not too early, not too late, you can slash your overall maintenance costs by up to a quarter. The return on investment here is it's incredibly clear, and it happens fast.
And you know what? Getting started is way more straightforward than you probably think. Here's the plan. 1. Pick one critical machine, the one where a breakdown really hurts. 2. Install an IoT sensor kit on it. You can get these for under 500 quid. 3. Just let it run for a month or two. Let it collect data and learn what normal looks like. And 4. Connect the AI's alerts right into your maintenance team's workflow. That's it. 4 simple steps, and you've got your first huge win.
So, let's just end on this thought. The game is already changing. The competitive landscape is shifting under our feet. The technology is here, it's accessible, the roadmap we just went through is clear, and the benefits, well, they're proven. So the only real question left for you to answer is, how quickly can you begin the journey?